Hi, it's me, it's Kira. I just wanted to jump on and make a video and just talk about some new makeup that I've gotten. I had a birthday back in June, and my number one thing on my birthday almost always the past few years is to go to Ulta and just do a shopping spree for myself. I love spending money on makeup, and I know in this world it's expensive, and you don't need to spend money if you already have makeup in your collection. But it was a day that I wanted to splurge and I wanted to enjoy my hobby. So, going shopping for makeup is always fun for me. I love doing it. I love trying new items and new brands and just different types of products. So, I got kind of a wide variety of items here. I want to do a quick rundown of what I already have on my face just so you kind of know. So, I did wear earlier the Halo Glow Skin Tint. It's pretty much, I feel like, just kind of left like my natural skin look. It was a very light layer, mostly just on my cheeks. I didn't even put it on my forehead or chin today. I wanted a very natural look at work. My brows are already done using the Build-A-Brow from Maybelline. I've been loving this. I also used an eyeshadow palette. This is the Beach Dreamin'. I just did an eye look right before I started filming this just to put some color on my eyes. I wanted to do a little bit of like a greenish look today because some of the products I have I feel like kind of match with it. So I wanted to do that. I used these two colors here first, and then I used this green kind of in the center, like towards the bottom of my lid. Love this, and this was also a birthday purchase, just not this year, but I do love that one. I also am wearing on my lips the Buxom Plump Shot and then the Morphe lip oil. I don't think they have this anymore. If they do, I love it. It's a glassified lip oil and does what it says it does. It's very glassy. I love these as a combination, like in the morning or just when I'm getting ready or doing my makeup. It just feels so nice. I don't know, I feel like this is pretty mild for a plumper, but also I love spicy things and I love plumpers. So take my word with a grain of salt because I don't think it's that bad, but maybe you do if you don't love a plumping feel. That's kind of the base of what I have down. I do also have mascara on. I did another layer just barely because when I did my eyeshadow, it had fallout and there was some glitter flakes and it just needed a little bit of a revamp. But otherwise, I have been wearing this all day. No flakes, no creases, no smudges, I should say, not creases, but no smudging. It's one of the new products I got. It's the Revolution Wrap Lash. This is one that I saw someone talk about, and I can't remember her name. I haven't watched her in a minute, but just on YouTube. This is a tubing mascara, and it's supposed to be a mega extension and volume tubing. I feel like it does a really good job of kind of having that extension look. The volume's not bad. I personally still think it could be better. I've never had like a tubing mascara truly feel like it's been super volumizing. So I don't know if that's just the nature of tubing mascaras, but for the price point, like this is amazing. And it really does give such a beautiful, like kind of a natural look. It separates my lashes well. It has kind of like holds a curl, and the length is good. I think this is a good mascara. I did notice when I wash it off, it doesn't seem as much as a traditional or normal tubing mascara. It's a little bit more flaky rather than rolling off in tubes. And so for me personally, it's a little bit more difficult to get off than I would like as a tubing mascara. So I don't know if I would purchase this again. I think it's worth the price point, but I feel like you can tell the price by the formula and by the way that it comes off. This is what the tube looks like. It's very similar and it's flexible, very similar to, it reminds me a lot of like the Sky High version. mascaras and like more of that natural lash look. So definitely the want of, you know, lengthening and kind of separating those lashes. So I would still recommend this, even if it's a little bit harder to take off. It still comes off and it's not smudgy or anything like that. Again, it just seems to be a little more flaky than it is like rolling off in tubes. I did end up getting 2 more mascaras. My Maybelline, this is my go-to. I love this. It's the Falsies Lash Lift Go-To Volumizing Mascara. I use this a lot and I go through a lot of these. I don't know how many times I've purchased this. It's my favorite mascara and I always go back to it. I just haven't had another mascara that I felt volumizes, curls, and makes my lashes look big. And I love that falsie lash look. I don't love wearing falsies, and so having that, being able to be in a mascara is something that I look in a mascara, and volumizing is my main focus because I do naturally have longer lashes, so I don't necessarily need a huge lengthening mascara. I just love having that volume. So that was a repurchase, haven't opened it yet, but I am out of it now at that point, and so if I'm ready to use it, I'm gonna open that one up. The last mascara I got is this Sky Tubes. Oh my goodness, I love this. I'm not gonna show it today as far as like being on my lashes, but here is what it looks like in the brush. Right now I could only see if they had, or I could only see that they had black. I don't know if they have a brown in this yet. If they do, I wanna try it. I would say I love this formula way better than the Revolution one. This definitely reminds me of a typical tubing mascara, but it doesn't feel cheap. I feel like it gives such a great length, separates, and is really pretty, and reminds me a lot of the Sky High mascara, but just in a tubing formula. And it's a dream to take off, doesn't flake, doesn't smudge, and it's just really pretty. I would probably get this again, especially with it being in the drugstore. And again, Maybelline is my favorite mascara brand. There's nothing that can beat Maybelline. I just love their mascara. So if there's a brown color, I definitely would purchase it as well. So that's the mascara I got. I would say that Sky Tubes one is the one that I've probably used the most out of these purchases that I've made. The other thing I wanted to show off was this. This is not makeup, but I did buy this on my birthday. It was on sale. It's the Verb. It's like the Volume Dry Texture Spray. From that, what this makes me think of is that it's like a combination of dry shampoo and like a texture hold spray, which is something I was kind of looking for. And because it was on sale, I decided to get it. I don't love it. I don't know if I need to use it more or if I was just expecting something a little bit different. I have had the Verb dry shampoo and loved that. I feel like this is more of a hairspray than anything, and I was looking more for a dry shampoo version, and so I feel like this is a good volume texture spray. I did spray it in my bangs a little bit, but it didn't do much as like a dry shampoo, and so I don't know if I'm misunderstanding what this is supposed to do by the name of it. When it says volume dry texture spray, it makes me think that it's a dry shampoo but also a hairspray that gives texture. I do think it gives texture for sure. My hair is very thin. This is like day, I don't even know what, like day 4 or 5 of my hair not washing it, and so we're greasy, right? Like it was pretty flat, and I don't have volume in my hair at all. So I put this on, and I do think it helped. I will say I love the smell of it. I don't love how it feels in my hair. So if you can see, I feel like it does give that texture and kind of does give that volume. I do have to kind of push it up, and that's typical for my hair. So I do feel like it helps. And like if you mess with it and like put it in your hair, it really does give that volume. Like look at that. So I do like that. not a dry shampoo, in my opinion. It does not help, and it feels greasy a little bit, and it feels like hairspray. So, long story short, I would not purchase this again, especially for the price point. I do not love it. I would prefer to just get the dry shampoo because I feel like it still gave volume with the dry shampoo, and it gave enough texture, and it made my hair not greasy. And I feel like this does kind of the opposite of what I want it to do. But if you're looking for a hairspray, a texture spray, specifically more for hold, then I think that could be a good option for you. The next thing I want to share is this ColourPop Pretty Fresh Lock It In Setting Spray. This has been on my wish list for a long time. I like to add things to my wish list as I see things and I'm like interested in them. And this has been on one for years. I just haven't tried it. I don't always use a setting spray. And so it's something in my collection where I don't like to have a ton of setting sprays in my collection. I like to be very minimal with that. Right now, I only have 2 setting sprays, and so this is one of them. So I did run out of one of my setting sprays, and so that's what kind of helped me decide to get this. It is supposed to be waterproof and transfer proof, and it's supposed to help stay in place for about 16 hours. I don't know if I've seen enough of a difference that I would repurchase this on a regular basis. I absolutely love how it feels. The spray is great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray it. I like that it's very minimal scented, just kind of a clean, fresh scent. The peptides and niacinamide in here is great. I will use this fully and I will enjoy it. I just don't know if I would repurchase it, but I do think it's hydrating and I do think it gives some longevity. I just don't know if it gives 16 hours worth. And my go-to is the Milani Make It Last spray. And I feel like that definitely helps make my makeup last. And if this, I'm questioning it, I just don't know if it's something I would repurchase. The next thing I want to show off, I think what I'll do is my foundation. I know I did a skin tint earlier today. I didn't wipe any off. The majority of it was on my cheeks, and so I really didn't have much on my face today. I also haven't done any other prep or skincare except for just barely spraying that. I just kind of want to see how it lays. I got the NARS foundation. I'm so excited. I've used this quite a few times since getting it. It's their light reflecting one. And so that has been the one that I have been wanting for the longest time. Also on my wish list. I always make it a priority to focus on drugstore when I am purchasing items because they are more affordable for me. However, I almost always on my birthday splurge one item and I allow myself to get one high-end item, and this was my choice this year. So I'm gonna go ahead and pump it out, just one pump on my hand. This is what it looks like. It's a pretty runny consistency. The shade that I use, let's see, this one is the Yulong shade. It's their light 1.5 and it is a neutral shade. I definitely lean more neutral / cool leaning. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and use a brush. Right now, this is the It Cosmetics brush. I just kind of want to see how it lays. And that is beautiful. It is so pretty. And I think this coverage is really good and you can build it. I've been able to build it quite a bit and it is so pretty. I don't need anything super crazy on my face. I don't need a huge layer. I usually end up liking a light layer anyway. But I pretty much went through that pump. So I typically do 2 pumps for this because I feel like the pump is very small. When it comes out, it's not like a ton of product. I do think it's like the perfect amount of product coming out in the pump, so I do like it, but just so you know, most of the time when I've used the foundation, I have used 2 pumps just for the amount of coverage. If I want like a higher coverage, that's how much I've been using. I typically, it's kind of been like 1.5. Sometimes I have a little bit of leftover and I don't end up using it, but for today, I'm gonna go ahead and just use all of that product and place it. So the reason I like this is because it is not drying. It wears very well and it just looks really pretty. And it is what it kind of says it is. It's a light reflecting. I feel like it's glowy, but it's not too much. So my skin looks really hydrated. I have dry skin, like really dry skin. And so having a foundation that looks hydrating, that feels hydrating, that is not drying, but is also really pretty and full coverage, not like slippy and slidey. I feel like it's like very slightly tacky, but kind of dries down and doesn't move around a lot, which is something I look for in a more glowy foundation because I don't want it sliding. I want it to stay in place, but I still want it to have that glow. So I think it is beautiful. It's been a highly recommended foundation for me for a long time, especially with a lot of the content creators that I follow on YouTube specifically. So I highly recommend this. There goes my light. It's been sitting on too long. There we go. That's better. If there are weird shadows, I'm sorry. It's late at night. I'm filming at night. That's when I have the time to do it. So next, let's move on. I am going to put on just really fast a little bit of the warm like buttermelt bronzer. I have officially hit pan and I'm so excited. So I've been using this quite a bit just because I'm excited I hit pan. I don't know the last time I've hit pan in like a bronzer. I don't know if I've ever hit pan in a bronzer before in my life. Bronzer used to not be a product that I used on a regular basis, and I still don't use it every day. But this bronzer is so natural for me and I love it. So it is something that I'm like more motivated to use it now that I've actually hit pan. I'm really sad because every time I've looked this product up, I don't think have the shade anymore. I think they got rid of it. It was their like #1 shade. It's Buttercup. And every time I look on Ulta's website, they don't have the shade anymore. I don't know if it's because people did not like the shade. I absolutely love it and I think it's perfect for my skin tone. But anyway, if I repurchase this, I'll have to get like the 1 shade up. The next item I got was this contour stick from CoverGirl. I got this True Blend. Sorry, give me a second. I don't know if this light's gonna want to stay on. We'll see how we do. I might just have to keep turning it on from afar. And it's twisting and round and not staying where it needs to be. Okay, so this is their True Blend Skin Enhancer. This is their contour balm. I like it because it's cool toned and it's actually cool toned. I have never had a cool toned like contour before, and so I have always wanted to try it. And especially when I am doing like my really dark goth looks, I just have loved an idea of having like a contour shade. So here we are doing the contour, and I just love that it's a true contour shade because that is not very common, that it's like that gray. Usually they're more warm leaning and it's just very uncommon. I am gonna use kind of like a little bit of more dense like blush, like tapered blush brush, and just to kind of like swipe that in. I want to kind of keep the pigment there and just see how it lays. See how much it like gave me that shadow? It's kind of in between. It is very balmy. I would not say it's like super blendable, but I also don't think it's like too hard that it doesn't blend well enough. I've only used this a few times, so I'm still learning placement of contour. Like, I'm not very good at it, so if it's like the worst spot ever, don't judge me. But anyway, I just wanted to put that on to show you that. So I'm still testing it out, trying to decide if I like it, but I do love the shade of it, and I do think it does that like contour. So love that. I'm gonna just use my fingers and just kind of rub that in and do the contour for my nose. Perfect. And then the other thing that I got that I was excited to try was this other CoverGirl product. This is their Skin Enhancer. It's their Baked Luminous Blush. This is also new, and I wanted to try that. The other blush that I got was ColourPop. So I'm going to put this on first because I usually like to do, if I have a liquid blush, do that first, and then I like to do any type of powder. So this is in the shade Thanks. I absolutely love this. Again, it's more of a cool toned like mauve-y shade, and I think it's really pretty on. It's really glowy. I don't think it's too much. I think it's kind of like the perfect amount. So we're gonna go ahead and place that on and just stamp it in. It is pretty pigmented, and that was like just one, I don't know if you saw, but that was one dot. I did not clean any off from the brush. I just used it straight from the applicator. So if it's something where you want a little bit more control, then definitely put it on your hand and rub it out first and then go from there. This light just keeps dying on me, so we're gonna just keep redoing it or turning it back on. I have filmed this video a few times now, where I was like doing my earlier stages with my eye look, and I gave up because my video kept cutting out, and so I am not redoing this video. So if there's any good bloopers and weird things that I say or anything like that, then you just get to enjoy, because I am not into editing videos. I haven't done that yet. Maybe one day I'll get into it, but for now, these are all completely unedited videos. So anyway, look how pretty that is. Gives a pretty glow. I absolutely love how it looks. So on top of that, I'm gonna go ahead and add that Skin Enhancer and just kind of, I'm gonna use a fluffier brush and go in with like a big fluffy brush like that and just swirl it and just place it. Because I love using a fluffy brush for these types of products, I feel like it just kind of helps settle it, set it down, and it looks beautiful. I love a lot of blush, so don't come for me. The other thing that I got, let's see here, that was most of my face products. I'm gonna just place on, since we're doing a little bit of a green look, I'm gonna place on a little bit of a highlight. I did not get this for my birthday this year. I feel like I got it another time, but I'm just using the Buttermelt highlighter, and it's in like a green blue shade. So I'm just putting that really quick on just to have that extra kind of pretty glow. I'm wanting a really just beautiful glow on the face. The other product that I got is this NYX, the Professional Makeup Pen. It's their Epic Ink Liner. I love this. I am testing it. I have a Ride or Die liquid liner right now, and I think it's the Maybelline one. Can't remember what it's called. I've used that one, and that's the only one I've used ever. So I wanted to kind of test out another liquid liner and see if maybe I'm open to other liners. It's definitely a little bit different. It applies differently. In some ways it applies easier, but then in other ways it doesn't set down right away, so it can smear. Whereas the one that I'm used to and the one that I love doesn't smear at all. And it's, I would say maybe longer lasting and harder to come off, whereas this comes off a little bit more easily. So if you're looking for something super waterproof, I don't know if this is it, but it applies so easily and it still does last long. And I didn't see that it smeared like throughout the day. It's just when I was first applying it, if I had to adjust what it looked like, or like the wing, if I was changing that at all, there was moments where it would smear. I'm not going to put on a wing today. I'm just not feeling it, especially if I already have mascara on. I like to do my wing before mascara. It's just easier for me with the way my lashes are, and so I'm not going to do it, but I am excited to reuse this and continue using this. I'm also excited to see how long it lasts because I feel like the other one lasts forever. So I'm interested to see if this stays pigmented, I guess, or if it dries out quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and put on this NYX eye pencil. This is another one I got. I was just very intrigued by the color. It's similar to my shirt where it's kind of like an emerald green. It's called Emerald City. So I kind of want to put this just on my lower lash line just because I feel like it really fits the color theme that I have going on. It is a pencil and it is kind of sharp. It doesn't hurt or anything, but it's just different than what I'm used to, like putting on the waterline. I am not used to it. So we're just kind of brushing that, and I am not making it perfect. I just like the look of it. And so we're kind of just bunching it on the outer edge of my line and not just doing the waterline because again, it's a little spiky. If this dulls, I feel like it would be better in the waterline, but right now it's kind of uncomfy. Just not what I'm used to when I'm applying on my waterline. I'm used to a little bit more of a less sharpened pencil. Okay. I feel like that is super pretty with the look that we have going on, so I like that. I've only used this like one or two other times, so I don't necessarily think or know if it's super long lasting or what it looks like, but the times that I've worn it, I have liked it. I've never worn it out more where it's a little bit more smudged down, so I'll be interested to see if this smears at all or does anything different. The last few things I want to do a cute little pop. This is the ColourPop Shadow Stick. This is also from the Lilo Stitch collection. I just want to do a quick little pop right here. It's like their blue-green shade because I feel like it goes really well with this look. I also did not get that this year, but I got it for my birthday on another year when I got the Lilo and Stitch palette. And we're going to go just underneath and kind of go up until we've done that other liner. I have been loving doing this type of look lately and using these as like an inner corner and then kind of putting it in the lid a little bit and then under my eye just in this corner here. And I just have been loving the look of it. I think it's super pretty and it gives a little bit of a unique look and it's easy. Let's see. The last few things I want to show off is this lip liner. Yeah, I ended up getting a lip liner and I've been wanting this color. I've heard this is like the lip liner to get for your fair-skinned girlies. It's a very natural looking lip liner and looks almost like the like your lips but better type shade. I'm gonna just wipe off, I don't have any makeup wipes in front of me, just the edge of that oil and just put this on to show you what I'm talking about. So as you can see, it is like almost identical to my lip shade, but it gives the perfect amount of depth to just add like that contour almost and just make my lips look so much bigger when they're not, and just gives that very like natural look. And so even if you go like a little bit out of your lip line, I feel like it looks like natural enough that it's just super pretty. So love, love, love this lip liner for sure. I also got this on clearance. It is just an Ulta Beauty. It's called Plumped Up Pout. It's kind of like a lip gloss. It was sparkly and then it was cool toned. So I wanted to get it. It smells like one of those like cheap kid lip glosses, like when I was 5 and you loved it and you wore it all the time. It smells like that and I do not love it. And it is very cool toned and very light. So a little bit lighter, like it's more pigmented than I thought it would be. And so I thought it would be a little bit of a thinner gloss. It's not. I don't think it looks terrible, but it's one of those where it kind of seeps into the lines of my lips. I don't know if it's because of the shade, if it's too light, sometimes that happens, or if it's the formula or a mix of both. And then sometimes when you do that purse thing and then it does like the little sticky lines, it's not doing it terribly right now, but if you put too much product on, especially, you can get carried away really quickly, I guess, with this lip gloss is what I'm trying to say. And so it's not an ideal lip. It's really hard to see in the video, and I feel like it looks pretty good in the video, but in person, it definitely sinks into the lines and it has that stringy lip thing, and I do not like that. It's so gross to me. And then with the smell combined, like, I don't know if you can see it, but it just collects right there. And so I don't love it. I'm gonna keep it, try it out, see if I wanna keep using it, see if it's worth it. I do kind of think the shade is interesting. I like that it's very cool toned, but I would never get this again and I would not recommend it. This was on clearance, so that's probably why. But yeah, so that was literally the only product that I did not like that I purchased on my birthday. So tell me what you think. I absolutely love this look. I think it's gorgeous. I think the products are beautiful. I would highly recommend. I think my biggest recommendations would be the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, the Sky Tubes mascara, and then this Morphe Bubble Bath lip liner if you have the same skin tone as me or if you're really fair. I just am obsessed with these products. I've been using them pretty consistently. I also just, I don't know, I just have loved them. So those are my top 3 products. And then the only product I would say I do not like at all is this one, besides like the color. I definitely will see how it wears, and if it's something where I just need to use less product or what it looks like, I want to test it out more before I just throw it away. It was literally like $3. So to me, it's just not worth it. If it's not a good product, I will probably just throw it away. And then this, I don't think I would repurchase. I would still recommend it though, if you're looking for a good drugstore tubing mascara, especially as a brown shade. I still think it's really good. I just don't know if I would repurchase it. Unless, you know, if I find like a different brown shade in a tubing mascara, it might be something that I would not repurchase again. Everything else I think that I love, and I absolutely love how this look turned out. I know I did a combination of new things, old things, but these were all pretty much items that I've got on my birthday or for my birthday. So yeah, I just am grateful to have makeup and to be able to play with makeup and be able to have a hobby that I'm passionate about. And yeah, I hope you find, maybe find a passion or find a hobby that you have been passionate about, that you've maybe forgotten or haven't looked at in a while, and just get creative and really relight that passion, because that has made me grateful, and it has just uplifted my spirits. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being you. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.